we have had a particularly good crop of apples this year, and although the plum crop wasn't quite as good as it was last year, it's still been quite abundant. And the point about plums is they don't last long, so we got stuck with the crop that we picked in September. Didn't have time to deal with it, so we just stuck it into the freezer, and it's now time to get them out. And I'm going to have a go at combining apples and plums together to make a jam. So, chopped up already 2 kilos of apples, and as you can see here in the pan are the thawed out plums. They don't look particularly appealing at the moment, but the thing is that the freezing process has sort of forced out an awful lot of the juice as well. So when we add those 2 kilos of apples to the 3 kilos of plums, we don't need to add any water to this jam. So add the apples and then simply apply heat and bring it up to the boil. Your quantities of apples and plums is really very much up to you. We just make sure that there's enough plum juice there to make sure that we've got a good boil on the jam without having to add any water to it. But both apples and plums have pectin in, so both would set on their own. But this time, just the combination would be quite interesting, so we're looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. When it's come up to the boil, turn the heat down and let it simmer until the fruit has completely pulped, and then add 1 kilo of sugar for every kilo of fruit that's in it. And then bring the heat back up so that the mixture starts to boil again. It's bubbling away quite nicely now. After we added all the sugar, I split it between 2 pans because the main pan was just a bit too full. So what we're going to do now is just test for the setting point. So put a dollop on a plate, let it cool down, and if it forms a skin, this one is starting to do, then it's ready to be put into hot sterilised jars. So we've got 19 jars. This is the biggest one, and it's still hot, very hot, because I've only just finished putting it into the jars. We also had a couple of little dishes that we had to use as well. As you can see, it's already sort of setting quite well. Now, unfortunately, my spoon is out of reach, so the moment of truth time. Actually, this isn't too hot. Ooh. Definite thumbs up for that. And the useful thing about the combination is that the plums effectively provide all the juice, and the apples simmer and cook in that plum juice as well. The flesh of the plums in particular tends to sort of pulp down and makes a very nice jam.